Hey guys, this is GamerCal, and welcome back to the Genius of Savros. So, last time we took on Alice and defeated her, of course, and this time we are going to be going into the underground so that we can acquire Satori. That's going to be interesting. So, I decided that the new party is, this is sort of the general types of characters I would be using at this point. I do have a slight weakness to electric here, which probably won't make it too big a difference, but you know, there's Patchouli using much the same stuff she had before, except with the Ring of Light now, so that she has the light resistance. Probably not as important right now, but hey, it's there anyway, just in case. Sakura, as you see, has a ridiculous physical attack score for just now because I did upgrade her weapon to the first tier, the Claymore, so now she has, well, she gained like 35 or something attack from that. It was kind of silly. Then we have Sanae wielding the Abika Cherry Blossom now because Marissa is actually using her tier 1 broom too. I don't know if I would normally make this broom, but considering I got the extra points, the magic mushroom, I decided I would make that. Because why not, you know? It's a bit of an upgrade. It gives her doubled MP regen, which is good for her piercing attack. Her use of stuff, also known as the physical mana stealing thing, because with 3 points in her broom tree you can still get that. I'm probably going to focus a bit more on her broom tree now because you can actually get auto regen within that, which is really nice. And then because I got the donation box as well, I decided I would make Reimu's tier 1 armor, so she's actually much better protected than she used to be. She also has a bit of light resistance and an extra bomb. Might come in handy. Still using the melon sword, most likely going to change that during this part, so yeah. Of course we have the lovely Patchouli as our guide for this stage, so let's just get going. So the underground is near the mountain, it's beyond our dear friend there. It's right this way, Palace of the Earth Spirits, except we've kind of got to go through the Geyser Center first, because since subterranean animism, the Yokai Mountain is actually developing this area for nuclear power, using Utsuho's ability, which Kaneko gave her for this reason. Yes, we really have to go in through there. Because, yeah, we can't exactly go through the reactor, because that would be very bad. And, Yugi got drunk and wrecked the passage. So, the more convenient way has been destroyed because of Yugi. That's Oni. That face. Jeez. Yes, so we basically have to go through the hell of blazing fires before we can reach Satori. How inconvenient, right? Yes, it'll be really hot. But, yeah. And yes, well, the Kappa are the technological wizards of the Touhou universe, so they kind of know about that stuff because they're the ones working on that, right? So I wouldn't care because the Tengu has nothing to do with this place, so it's like I have no business knowing about this because Tengu hate the underground. And Sanae doesn't ever get told anything about anything because that's kind of how Sanae is. So yeah, she doesn't actually have the authority for stuff either. That's unusual. So, as awkward as it is, we have to walk all the way through hell. Because Notori can't do it either. Yep, so let's just go. So, welcome to Stage 4, the former hell of blazing fires. This will of course be our warp point to the end when we reach the end. And, well, this stage is not too terrible. There's obviously a lot of fire going on, like this fire here. To progress past these fires, you need to hit the switches. So it's good to sort of show you that's what the mechanic of this place is going to be, and the overworld monster sprites are giant feet. Because reasons. I have no idea why, but you know, that's what they are. So we could go along and back to get progression, or we could sneak on down here. It's a passageway we could go. I think that's where we're going to have to go and run ourselves into an enemy. So, if I remember rightly, these guys, well, apart from they are the beast type, so the same as Alice was. You can tell a monster's type, well, kind of tell a monster's type by the symbol that's in the big box. So the ram, I'm pretty sure, is for the beast type. There's a few of them I don't actually know, I need to probably look them up, but if I remember rightly they are weak to water, and they deal, I know they deal fire attacks. Oh, they're not weak to water, okay. Well, that's fine, but they do a lot of fire moves, and Sabio nearly got completely wrecked there, wow. They have a decent bit of HP, but nothing too spectacular, so they also have that move, which if it connects with well, tentacle, if it connects with a party member with low defense, then it will do a ton of damage, otherwise it's not too dangerous. Also, Sanai's buff there was to dexterity, which involves accuracy, and Marissa gets her fire spell, which is probably going to be totally useless here, but you know, that's what she decided to get. So there's a fair few enemies in this area, just be careful about that. You do want to explore a decent bit though, because even though there's a couple of rooms you don't have to go into overall, there are items in a lot of places which you'll want to bear in mind. I'm gonna hit this here. Some fires will take multiple switches before they will dissipate, so bear that in mind too. It's not 100% straightforward. I mean, it is, but you don't have to. You don't always have just one switch for one thing, so it's a bit more complicated that way. This guy is weak against, I want to say, electric. He's obviously a spear user, so then the demon is an axe user, and this is Foreign God, I believe, is the type for this guy. This guy is classed as a giant, even though he's not very big, but he's classed as a giant, so heck yeah. Let's just use light. I don't want to just use it against one guy though. I'm gonna just use the amulet, Hakurai amulet. I do have a bit more power on that because of it being stronger than the default one. So you know, string laser hits him too. Sure, why not? And then we'll just use lightning. So yeah, Tentacle won't do a lot of damage unless it hits one of my mages, and no, it's the other guy that's weak to the lightning. Did I get their weaknesses the wrong way around? I must have got their weaknesses the wrong way around. Anyway, Curse, really freaking annoying thing here. So you can see you take a portion of any damage that you deal. It does include healing too, so that's awkward. But it is fine, we shall deal with it. Yeah, I'm gonna hit this guy with water and see, because I don't remember. No, it's not weak to water either. I'll need to look up and see what the weakness is then. Also, when it comes to Curse, the more induction you have, the stronger the Curse's effect will be. There are a couple of enemies later that cast Curse, which can literally make you take like double the damage that you actually deal out. It's pretty harsh. Anyway, the Rusty Blade is actually a character's item that we do not have yet, so it's not always going to be the case that you just get items for who you have. Because let's face it, we obviously know there are more characters we need to get yet, like Satori is obviously one of them. So yeah, there's more stuff to do yet. Is there anything down there I forget? I'm gonna lure this guy away so I can take a quick look. No. Okay. So yeah, there's a lot of directions that you can go in this place. How did I not get into an encounter there? You know, I'm just gonna go down here instead, if you don't mind. Try and avoid as many of these as we can for now. I think there is actually a thing down there somewhere, so it's worth a look, but I guess I just missed it. So, skeletons, they are very blunt weapon based. They also are weak to light, but unfortunately all the enemies are too spread out here, so can't really hit them with too much. I think they are weak against fire as well? I'm pretty sure it's fire, light, or it might be water and light actually. Probably water and light, so we'll go ahead and just use water against him, I think. No, it's not. It is fire and light. God damn it! This is the part where I forget all the weaknesses because it's been too long since I played this game. Oh well. And they can inflict blindness. Heck yeah! So Reimu can't actually do any physical skills now. So yeah, their basic physical attack will inflict blindness, and it's really annoying. So I'm actually just going to use a needle here, I think, because it's a bit faster to cast than the amulet. Also, a thing to note there, I believe, yeah, skeletons are extremely resistant to stab attacks. So, as you would expect, because there's nothing to really stab on a skeleton. So they're weak against strike, though. So if you can hit them with an axe, then they take a lot of damage from that. So, Patchouli gets her first elemental style attack, and Alice, I haven't actually been checking how much bonus experience Alice gets, but Alice gets an attack too, so I guess I should probably show what Alice's skills are, considering I didn't do that last time. So, let's just show the thing off here. Active Elemental. It's a skill that lets you raise one of the core elements, so one of Patchouli's main offensive element types. You raise the land power of that type. It's got a big cooldown, so that's kind of annoying actually. I'd like it to be a little bit quicker to cast, but it's pretty good when you need one particular element type for the situation at hand. So if you need to raise fire because the enemy's using water and they're weak to fire, then it can be good just to lessen the damage you take. And then, yeah, we haven't actually shown Alice's stuff, so she really doesn't start with a whole lot, but basically she's going to get some skills every level from here that will increase her defensive capabilities. But like I said last time, she can block attacks from, you know, with her allies using her shield. And then Remote Sacrifice is a very basic attack. I don't actually know how this attack works. I think you just have added defense whilst you're attacking, but it's a bizarre skill. I don't really know how it works. But anyway, Wherein though is something that's very good. So Wherein basically just makes Alice the target of more attacks, which is of course very good for keeping your mages alive. So definitely bear that in mind. There is a thing around here somewhere and I'm getting annoyed that I can't find it. Need to just lure this guy down, and let me just check that it isn't just here. It's just here and I'm being an adult. So yeah, there's a couple of secret passageways like this though, which you will need to get items from. So just bear those in mind when you are navigating around this place. And well, this bit looks kind of unassuming, but there is a box here, so make sure that you grab the box. Even though the button didn't work there, I guess I wasn't close enough to the box. Oh, zombie fairies. They are of course very weak to light, and if you physical attack one, I believe it can counter attack with energy drain, which is a spell version of the Bloodsuck attack from before. Highly obnoxious, but hey. I don't know if it's just that, it might actually be other stuff as well. It might be magic that it can also counter, but I don't think so. Anyway, they kind of take a lot of damage from light, so and they're not too difficult to take on. There is actually a piece of equipment that I would quite like from them, but not too essential. And yeah, Alice is actually getting double experience from this place, so that should show you the level par that we're looking at here. I think it's around about level 8 is what we're looking at for the on par level. So, now that we've gotten all the stuff down here, we can go up and take a look on up this way. There's a gold door, that's where we'll be going eventually, and a couple of switches are needed, so we need to bait this guy out here, and then not quite get round him. Okay, so the salamander, you'll find there are certain enemies in stages which are tougher than others. They're almost like mini-bosses. This isn't strictly a mini-boss, but it's a tougher than average enemy which will definitely not like tax you too much in this case, but it can definitely hurt if you are not careful of it. And it is, in this case, weak to water, of course. So yeah, party-wide fire attack, it does do a lot of damage. Some of these monsters do get 2 attacks, and it gave us the drop that it has on the first go. Heck yeah, Lorax wristwatch. So this, I think, is another one of those shields that can block everything. Yeah, so if you wanted to block anything, you'd wear a Lorax. No, hashtag shameless plug, right? But yes, it's got a 20% chance to block any type of attack, which is really nice. So definitely use that if you're looking at... you know what, Alice is probably a good one to use that on if you're looking to block attacks with your, you know, for your allies and whatnot. So the fact that I didn't get the shield I was looking for before maybe doesn't matter so much now that I've got that one. So that's quite nice. We want to drag this guy up and out if we can, try and avoid doing all the fights. So you can see there though that that one button hit both flames there, so it's not always a case of one-to-one in terms of stuff that way. Sometimes multiple flames will be affected, and there is a thing down here that lets you get an elemental sphere, which is another crafting material that's used to make high-end elemental gear. Probably won't be using those for quite some time, but it's nice to have them anyway, because they're quite hard to get as enemy drops. So, and there really wasn't a way out of that one, unfortunately. So we just have to do the fight. We could attack both enemies there, but you know, I'm just going to use the amulet here and fire away, because we found out fire is actually the weakness type, so definitely go with that. And I guess this is probably a decent time to save because of this axe-like enemy here. Certain enemies will actually use physical attacks that you could use as well. So these... oh wow, that's a good drop. But these enemies with the axes here, and usually it's the fairies that do this, but they will use physical skills from your generic trees. So stun blow is actually something that you get if you raise the axe tree up, and it can inflict paralysis. So there is that. London Dolls is a very, very good shield skill to get, and it's actually not as special as I thought that item, because it's just a generic rock. But why am I going there? I want to go skills, so I can show London Dolls. So this is going to be one of your main mechanics here. This skill essentially lets you do what the turtle would do. Actually, I don't think it ever showed off in the main stuff. I might have shown it off in the bonus stuff, the grinding parts. But anyway, if your London Doll target would get hit by an attack that turn, Alice gets hit instead. So you can cover somebody who's at like 5 health or something, say Sanai, who's trying to heal everyone, and then if Sanai was to get attacked that turn before she got a move off, or after she got a move off, you know, any time in that turn, Alice would take the hit instead. Gotta be careful with multi-target moves that way, because Alice will take a hit for everybody she's protecting with an attack like that. But Alice doesn't take anywhere near as much damage as everyone else, so it's usually fairly easy to mitigate that. Just don't have her take like a gigantic AoE magic attack that hits for like 100 damage everywhere, you know. That would be kinda sucky. So these guys, nothing too special, we've seen them already, but I mean, there's sometimes you just can't avoid getting into fights. I think we're gonna go with water on this, and water is not the weakness either, huh? I will find out their weakness without looking it up, because that would be silly. But I don't know. We'll just have to fight. See, oh, they're weak against stab. Okay, that's random. They have a shield. How are they weak against stab? That don't make any sense whatsoever. But whatever. There's the key that we need. There's actually a box up there too. So let's just bring this guy down so we can grab these things. Red Eyes. Red Eyes is a berserk protector, and I got myself stuck there. But there is a new enemy, the Hell Cobra. These definitely are weak to water, and they also are very weak to slash. They also happen to be reptiles, and as you see, Sakia's weapon has a Slayer against reptile, so we will see just how big an impact that makes in a second here. Let's raise magic attack this turn. We do have 3 magic users about to do stuff, so... Oh, they're probably weak to earth. That would make more sense here. Because, I don't know, giants are somehow weak to earth. I don't know how that really works. But yeah, you see the screen flash green, and they're not even weak to earth. Dang it! Haven't I used like every element except fire by now? I don't even know. How is Reimu still alive? That curse though. But, yeah, there she goes. And, yeah, the screen flashes green if you get a Slayer, just like the screen flashes red if you get a critical hit. And with the Slayer and the weakness, you saw that thing just got nuked for over 700 damage. Sakia is ridiculous when she gets her Slayers and stuff like that going in her favour. You can actually get a critical hit and a Slayer at the same time. If you do that, the screen will flash yellow. And that's when the real big damage comes in. That's when you know that you've done good. Alright, so that one passageway I didn't take at the start because the reasons, I guess that was actually the way to get an extra item. So let's just try and not lure this guy out. I'm just going to run from this fight because I can't be bothered at this point. I've already fought more of these guys, and I don't really care too much for the item they drop, so... I don't remember if the snakes have an item I want, but I'm just going to run from this as well. I may as well. We've got more interesting fights further on down the road. I don't need to waste all the time in the world with these guys. So, just more synthesis materials, but hey, synthesis materials right now are a very good thing to have, so definitely do not discount treasure chests like that. Also, that was a pretty smart move there. Too bad there's nothing up here though. I do think there's a decent bit of wasted space, it feels like, in a lot of these areas, but what can you really do, you know? It looks nice enough, it's just a shame that there's... Was there anything over here? There is, but I need a flame for that, so that's a return passageway. So, with that said, we do have a gold key. We can go in that, that golden door now. Which is right there. Let's not run away apparently, because I wasn't able to. Sometimes you get that, you can't always run from every fight. I believe it's speed based, because there's a formation with Aya later on that, you know, to do with Aya, that lets you basically run away from every fight ever, and it gives you like massively more speed than you would normally have. That was just never gonna go well, no matter which way around I tried to go there. Gosh darn it. Well, whatever. It's not gonna take long to nuke these guys. The animations don't take too long either, so it's fine either way. And it does get Alice some more levels, which is good, so she gets that. And yeah, there's There's a definite glitch with this game where you don't always see the item drops if you kill multiple enemies at the same time, which is a bit of a shame, but hey, we got the crowbar axe. So this axe is a bit of an anomaly because unlike most axes, it's actually exceptionally accurate. So its decent attack power is actually stronger than any other axe we have at the moment, and it's 120 accuracy. And it has a slayer. So it has a slayer against mimic type enemies. So one character I have could actually use that pretty well at the moment, and that would be Sanai, but Sanai's Cherry Blossom gives her MP healing, so instead I'm actually going to give this to Reimu, because I don't really need the extra experience. Oh wait, no, I can't give it to Reimu because she can't use an axe. Except her Gohei axe kind of like an axe, which is pretty dumb, but whatever. I guess she can use a staff instead, so there is that. So yeah, I guess I could just give it to our dear friend Sanai here, but at the same time, even though it's more accurate and more powerful, Sanai doesn't really do physical attacking too much, and when she is doing it, I kind of wanted to get that 1 MP back. 1 MP doesn't sound like a lot, but when you get that every single physical attack, it adds up quite quickly. Anyway, we're now in the second half of the stage, so there are different enemies and stuff here, but we'll try and not bother ourselves with them too much for now. We'll save that for later. However, I do want to get up here just so I can show what is there, and unfortunately can't avoid the fights, so whatever. Hellhound and the Tenchi Rock is basically the way I would say it. The Tenchi Rocks are quite dangerous because they can inflict instant death, so be mindful of that. You may want to use Sanai's resistance buff here, but I actually don't have it equipped right now. It's a bit of an oversight, I really should have had that, but whatever. They have quite high physical defense. I'm pretty sure they were weak to water, but I'm just gonna go ahead and blitz them with non-directional laser as well, I think here. Just get as much damage out as I can, because they can, I think they also can counter with their instant death. So yeah, they're not too bad though. They're weak to light, okay. And then this guy's weak to water, so good to remember now that they are weak to light, so use that to your advantage. So here is our final destination, this gold door here. We need another key for that. So we'll work our way around and find that key. As soon as we get this guy. You know, if we can lure this guy up here, then we can just go round the other way. Or not, because there's 2 of them. Well done. There goes my plan. We just have to do that instead. So, more enemies here. There is actually a mid-boss fairy, which unlike Kawakuma, you do have to fight if you want that item, so we shall do that soon. I want to save Reimu's MP actually, because she doesn't have a whole lot left, so I probably should put the 3 points into the magic tree for or the staff tree for Patchouli so that she can get MP drain here, but yeah, that's something I'm looking like I should do, because Patchouli's MP does go down fairly quickly. She has a lot of it, but it doesn't matter if she doesn't end up getting to keep it all. So yeah, we'll lower her damage a little bit, but we'll give her the MP healing stuff, so it's a bit more useful overall. And then this is why you have to go fight that fairy, because you can't get up here. This game's a bit weird about what you can and cannot go through. Like, you can go behind this, but you can't go down underneath the thing. It's pretty strange. Anyway, if we go up, then we can get to this area again, which lets us open up a few more passageways so that we can basically have some shortcuts back and get to some new areas too, which is always nice. So get a new curse reduction thing, which is from Hina. Then up here, this is a new room entirely, which I guess we can try and explore, see if we can get around these enemies. No. I'm just gonna run from this fight. We've got plenty of time in the next part to do this stuff, but I want to get through this area if I can. Except we haven't fought this guy yet, so Flame, kind of what you would expect, just uses fire attacks and isn't anything too spectacular, but is not, you know, the easy. He's pretty easy, but he also has an item I want, so as you would expect though with this place, water is actually a very good element overall to have, so definitely make sure that you have a decent amount of water attacking in your party. And we can just auto from here. Most of the time you will find that you can generally auto fights or auto attack fights when you've taken out maybe 1 or 2 enemies. And Alice gets another level with Russian dolls. We'll actually show that stuff off later because right now we're kind of getting close to the end here, and we have a new shield as well. I'm just going to show off all the stuff at the end, I think, here, because I want to get as much of the exploration here done as possible. So this, if you need a way back, then you can get it from there. And now we just need to go down, and we can actually get to the save ring before I get any further along, I think. Because that way I can get my MP back and Patchouli can damage stuff again. Because that's the biggest problem with Patchy right now, is that she just doesn't have enough MP left to actually kill stuff. Rage Joker, that's actually a very good item that we shall be exploring soon. And I don't really care for fighting that fight right now. So yeah, there is that. So let's just quickly go back up and finish up. You know, it's probably better actually that I just do the rest of the stuff in the next part. Also, Fire Breath, that's a... Breath attacks are very nasty. They are physical attacks which do more damage based on the percentage of HP. I think it's percentage, it might actually just be physical amount of HP that you have left. And they can be very, very damaging things. Breath attacks Breath attacks can just do so much damage if you are not careful. And yeah, these guys have got a lot of physical defense, as you can see. But things like this, when you have MP drain on your attacks, can actually be very good for recovering that stuff. I guess I can't go through that a little bit. See, there's another like weird thing with this. You would think that, oh, based on some of the other stuff you got, you can go through that, but nope. So anyway, this is the end of the stage. If you go up here, then you open up the way to the boss of the stage, as well as the entrance back. And, well, I think this is as good a place as any to stop, because this has gone on for a decent bit. We have actually gone through pretty much the entire stage, though there was a room that we did not go into. There's at least one room that we didn't go into that we could have for extra stuff, but we shall do that in the grindy thing of let's kill all the enemies and get some stuff off it. So, this has been Game Account playing Touhou, the Genius of Sapphiros, and next time we go ahead and clear out hell from, you know, just kill all the hell spawn, I guess, because that's kind of what we're doing, right? See you guys next time.